Good evening, Legacy families. Welcome to our first virtual town hall. I'm Nicole Kirkley, Superintendent of Legacy Traditional Schools, and with me as our co-host this evening is Patrick Grady, Associate Superintendent.
Thank you, Nicole. And welcome, families. Thank you for joining us. And Nicole and I both want to welcome you to the Arizona Safe to Return virtual town hall meeting. Over the last few weeks, we know that all parents have received communication from Legacy regarding our Safe to Return to School plan. And as a Legacy parent myself, I understand this is a difficult decision for you. And the reason we want to hold this town hall is so we can provide some more guidance to help you make the decision before the deadline of July 19th.
Before we get started, one final thank you for your patience as we develop our Safe Return to School plans. This evening, we have a few agenda items to cover. First day of school for all Arizona schools, school programming options for the 2020-2021 school year, healthy practices, safe return to school, cleaning and sanitizing procedures, contingency plans, and we will close with commonly asked parent questions.
First and foremost, we're all wondering, when does school actually begin? School officially begins for all students on August 5th, that is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. This is true for all students who select both in-person learning as well as remote learning. Students will be required to log in to our Schoology, which is our learning management system online, to mark for attendance for the first day of school.
So you may be wondering, what are our school program options this year? We have two options for all of our Arizona students. First would be in-person learning. 100% of learning would be in the brick and mortar school, obviously beginning August 17th or when permitted by the state officials. Students will receive instruction in their classroom. Safety guidelines will be enacted to protect the staff and students and mitigate risk. As well, students will be expected to do a self-screening each morning with their parent, as will staff, and wash hands every 2 hours. In addition, students can choose the online learning model. In the online learning model, 100% of the learning will be done through Schoology, our online platform. Students will receive course content in the core subject areas of math, spelling, reading, phonograms, writing, grammar, social studies, and science. Electives will be limited based on each campus offering. Attendance will be tracked daily by logging in to the monitor each day of Schoology. Students will be marked absent if they do not log in. Students will be assigned a new online teacher if they choose online learning, a different teacher than they would have had in the brick and mortar setting. Please remember that when you're making your option, you will have 1 week following August 17th to change your choice. So if you choose online and find out that's not working for your family, 1 week after August 17th you'll have to make the decision to return to school. As well, if you choose brick and mortar learning, you'll have 1 week to change to online after the August 17th week deadline.
With healthy practices, Legacy Traditional Schools is going to follow strict guidelines to ensure the safety of all of our students and staff while they're on campus. First and foremost, physical distancing must be adhered when possible by all staff and students while they're on their campus. We recommend that face coverings are used unless they're required by any county or state executive orders. Capacity limits have already been established by all areas on campus and we'll continue to enforce this. Inside of the classroom, we already have our desks in rows and grid-like patterns as we do as a traditional school. They will remain so in a grid-like pattern moving forward. Each teacher is going to receive a first aid kit to allow for any minor scrapes or injuries that can assist students to address them without having to limit the amount of visits to the health office. If, for instance, if there's a positive case of COVID-19, the school will issue a notification to parents or students who have any affiliation to the individual who tested positive with alignment of our county and state health regulations. If students or staff have a fever or any other COVID-19 flu-like symptoms, they must be fever-free or symptom-free for 72 hours prior to returning to school. We require hand washing every 2 hours for at least 20 seconds in accordance to the CDC guidelines for students and staff. Hand sanitizer will be available all throughout the office and in classrooms and throughout campus throughout the day. Students and staffs are encouraged to bring their own sanitizer as well as an extra safety precaution. All students and staff will be expected to conduct self-screening or body temperature and COVID-19 related symptoms prior to reporting to the school building. If you're unable to do this at home, we will have the option to conduct screening on campus through either our health office or an area throughout campus that's designated for this screening. Campuses, like I said, must designate an isolated area on campus for this, and we will have this available and communicate to parents. Once again, if there's any confirmed positive case of COVID-19, the school will issue notification to the parents of students who have been affiliated to any individual who tested positive during this time. Once again, in alignment to CDC guidelines, Legacy has identified a body temperature of 100.4 or higher, or any COVID-19 flu symptoms as criteria to substantiate a staff or student absence from school, and we will continue to regulate this. If any fever or symptoms are presented at that time of self-screening, we have guidelines for staff to report fever or symptoms to their supervisor, and students as well should be reporting fever symptoms to the attendance line.
We have additional safe return to school procedures that we'd like to review this evening. Additionally, it's all available on our website, legacytraditional.org/AZSafeReturn. Also this evening, as you're watching, if you have any questions, please comment them below and we will answer questions throughout. Other safe return to school guidelines include limits on how many students or staff may be in certain areas on campus. In the cafeteria, no more than 3 classes of students at a time. On the playground, only 1 grade level will be playing at a time. The hallways will be marked so they're only walking in one direction. Classrooms. Students will be asked not to sit on the floor, but only in their desk in a grid-like pattern. They will also not be asked to be in groups or partners at any time. Students will also not share any desk supplies. Additionally, we have procedures for morning drop-off. Students will need to proceed directly to their classroom upon being dropped off at school. Water fountains will only be used to drink directly from, but can be used to fill a water bottle. PE classes will be held outdoors when possible, and students will not need to wear masks when participating in physical activity outside. Band class will not be able to play instruments, must remain in masks, and will follow general music guidelines. Driveline. Students will not be able to be picked up from their classrooms or in the office. All parents must pick up using the driveline process or have their child signed out as a walker. Student gatherings. Flag ceremony is very important at Legacy. We will not stop having flag ceremony. It will just look very different for our students. Flag ceremony will be in the classroom and will be done over the intercom or virtually for our online students. No campus events will be scheduled until further notice, and emergency evacuation drills will be practiced in small groups. For food service, students in grades K through 6 will alternate between eating in the cafeteria or eating in their classroom so that we do not have more than 3 classrooms at a time in the cafeteria. Students eating lunch in the cafeteria or in their classroom will only have the option of cold lunch until further notice. The salad bar will also not be offered at this time. Students will not touch a device to type in their lunch number, only staff will. Grades K through 6 lunch, principals will be creating a staggered schedule, as we stated before, so that some classes are eating in their classroom and some classes are eating in the lunchroom to not have more than 3 classes in the lunchroom per period. For junior high lunch, all students will keep the same lunchtime, but half of the students will eat inside and half will eat outside, and then they'll switch, or they will play inside while the other half eat, and then they will switch and eat and play. Breakfast will be served from 7:30 to 8. Tables will be set up one-sided, just like at lunch, so that all students are facing one direction. Students will sit no more than 4 to a bench. Directly after eating their breakfast, they should report straight to their classroom. Tutoring. In the past, you may have been invited to other teachers' tutoring sessions, but to ensure students are only in their own classroom, teachers will only tutor their own students. After-school sports. When we are allowed to resume after-school sports, only athletes and coaches will be allowed at practices. Athletes should use hand sanitizer before and after games and practices. Water and personal athletic equipment should not be shared. Only immediate family may attend games as spectators. All athletes will need to sign a COVID-19 waiver prior to participation. After-school clubs, field trips, and musicals are so important to our students. However, for their safety, we will postpone them or offer virtual opportunities until further notice. Parents of enrolled students, please understand we love our parent volunteers. No one will miss our parent volunteers more than the students and teachers. However, to keep everyone safe, our campuses will remain closed to parents, visitors, and guests, with the exception of parents picking up a sick child or dropping off or picking up early. We will let you know when volunteer opportunities resume. And before entering the office, please be prepared to comply with active municipal, county, and state mandates related to face coverings. Back to school night is a very popular topic. While we don't know the date we'll have back to school night yet, we do promise to have some sort of event prior to returning to the brick and mortar school August 17th or when allowed. The event date will be published by your campus, as will the time, and it will be a combination of remote and in-person engagement. We still want families to drive through Driveline, see their teacher, drop off their school supplies, and much information will come out about this. We also know parents have important procedures of dropping off medicine with the health aide, picking up Driveline signs. All of those items will be available to you in a limited in-person engagement way.
So in regards to cleaning and sanitizing, all legacy traditional schools will plan to follow these general guidelines. First and foremost, our campus facilities teams will oversee cleaning and sanitizing efforts throughout the campus on a daily routine, which involves cleaning, sanitizing high-touch surfaces, deep cleaning after all large group gatherings and classroom transitions. We've even purchased new technologies such as static fog guns that will expedite the cleaning and sanitizing process for these high-touch surface areas to protect our students and staff. Once again, if there's a confirmed case of COVID-19 within the building, a deep cleaning protocol will be initiated after the consultation with our COVID task force throughout Legacy. Our amazing facility teams will continue to clean and sanitize with the following responsibilities. Evening custodians will sanitize the entire facility. Shared play sets and swings will be cleaned using sanitizing spray between each lunch or recess. And all recess balls and equipment will be sprayed with disinfectant between lunch or the recess period throughout the day. Our food services, who are equally as amazing, will be responsible for cleaning and disinfecting frequently touched areas and surfaces in the kitchen. They'll disinfect shared use of any items throughout the kitchen. They'll clean and sanitize our prep tables several times throughout the day. And staff will practice proper hand hygiene, and face coverings will be worn at all times.
Legacy remains prepared for contingency plans should there be an outbreak on campus. Safe operations criteria. If there is an outbreak of COVID-19 with the school or another situation that could cause undue concern relative to the safety of our students, the principal will consult with the district COVID task force to determine if it's safe to continue operating the school. Please refer to our website for further guidelines as when we may have to close a classroom and what our cleaning procedures will be if there's an outbreak. Remote learning school option. As well, in the event of a short-term closure, notice will be provided to parents and students, and we will convert back to our remote learning option via Schoology. We'd now like to take a few minutes to answer some commonly asked parent questions that have come through.
I'll go first. The first question that we received from a parent has in regard to school supplies. This parent said, I want to know if school supplies needed for online learning will be different than the list provided that the previously assigned teacher, since there will be a new online teacher assigned. It's a great question, a question we received pretty common questions come in the last few days. In regards to a school supply list for online learning, it's pretty limited. Your child is going to need access to technology, a laptop or a tablet, as well as the internet. As far as the consumable items they may need are going to be limited. A pad of paper, something to write with in regards to teacher, so you won't need the same supplies as you would as a brick and mortar student. One of the questions that come up most often is in regards to EduKits. Many parents and families have purchased EduKits with the intention of students to utilize those while on campus. We do have a refund procedure for those, any parent that requests a refund. Just please contact your front office secretaries and they can assist you with that.
Thank you. Another question that came in. If we start off in person and feel it is just not safe, can my child move to online, or do we have to wait until the next quarter? As we stated earlier, all of our students will have 1 week following August 17th or when we're allowed to return from campus to change their mind on their learning option. So if we return on August 17th, you'll have exactly 1 week of experiencing in-person or online before asking to change your option, and then you will have to wait until the next quarter after that.
Another question that came in is regarding face masks. One parent said, we're considering having our son do both online learning and in-school learning. He's 6 years old and starting kindergarten, and he don't necessarily feel comfortable wearing a face mask for long periods of time. I hear you 100%. I have children starting kindergarten, and we've been trying to utilize this just to prepare them to start school. It's difficult. So the question is, can we wear a shield mask instead of a face mask? Absolutely, 100%. That's still a safety precaution for our students. So if you prefer to wear a shield mask instead of a face mask, that's absolutely okay.
Thank you. The next parent had quite a few questions, so I'll go through them one by one. Are the online tutoring sessions optional, like they used to be in the past? Yes. All online tutoring options remain optional. There will be 2 offerings each week for 30 minutes, but they are not required. Are the online tutoring sessions the only live interaction with the teacher? If your child chooses the online learning model, we have developed a full online program where they will receive all of their instruction virtually. However, the teacher still will be available via email or for one-on-one consultation if needed. Are all of the assignments offline only, or are they interactively delivered through the Schoology platform? They are interactively delivered. We have a full platform, very different from fourth quarter, where all of our curriculum is built out with videos, the textbook, activities, discussion posts, quizzes, tests, much like you might see in a college learning environment, however, very interactive and catered toward our young students. Will we receive the necessary materials to do online learning assignments, or are we expected to print packets? Well, the good news is there's no more packet printing. If you need materials, they're all available online, and everything can be submitted via the Schoology learning platform. How will tests and quizzes be facilitated? Well, tests and quizzes will be available through the Schoology platform, and the students will answer the questions online and submit the test right then and there.
The last question I received from a parent has regard to School Mint. And so all of our families have received an invitation from our School Mint program to select the option for their children. And this question from a parent says, do I need to create a new account under School Mint to make sure my children are registered correctly? The answer is no to that. If you have problems logging into your existing School Mint account, you can select to reset your password. Or if you're having any troubleshooting problems, please contact our school registrars or front office, and they can assist with you. But there should not be a need to create a new School Mint account or re-register your students for school. All we're asking is to make that selection for their programming for next school year, once again by July 19th of this month.
And I'm glad that question came up. As of today, 37% of our families have responded to the online survey choosing their learning platform. Please go on and select your learning platform, and if you did not receive the email or text message, contact your school office and they can assist you. So as a reminder, our website is our primary source of information, and we will keep it updated daily. You may go to Legacy Safe Return to School page, legacytraditional.org/az-safe-return, Legacy Safe Return to School fact page with commonly asked FAQs. And we also will now like for you to add any comments you have in the session below, and we will respond to those this evening. Thank you so much, and we have just a few simple reminders before we let you go this evening.
Parents, we know we said at the first part of this town hall, but just a reminder once again, the official start date for school is Wednesday, August 5th. We're asking that all students, regardless if you choose remote learning or in person, please log into Schoology so our teachers can take attendance and we can verify that you're going to be one of our legacy students for next year. Join the virtual first day celebration on your campus Facebook page where we do flag ceremony and welcome everyone to start the year. And once again, please be prepared to comply with active municipal, county mandates related to face coverings on campus. If those might change or increase or decrease throughout that, we just want to make sure that we're remaining flexible and cooperative during that time. At this time, all legacy campuses remain closed to all parents, visitors, and guests. We will continue to communicate with you if anything changes. Once again, please submit questions to our post-event online at legacytraditional.org/contact. And we thank you once again for myself and Nicole Kirkley, our Superintendent of Schools, for joining us on this virtual town hall. And we can't wait to work with you as a partnership with parents to make sure this is a very exciting and a great school year for our students.
Thank you.